All right, everyone, we are live on StreamYard and everywhere across social media, as is, I guess, per usual now moving forward. My name is Zan Bando. He's Jack Gold. This is a new edition of the MMA Outsiders. We are into the 150 plus episode range now, which is crazy to think about. In fact, I'm pretty sure this is the 150th episode. Um, but nonetheless, though, very, very exciting stuff. Jack, how are you today? And how much are you looking forward to, I guess, this StreamYard slash social media era of sorts where we're basically live everywhere? We can kind of explain how many places we're live currently at, but how are you? And then we'll get into introductions as to who we both are because I haven't done one of these shows in terms of this show on StreamYard in a minute. So I'd be glad to go over some introductions and any other things that you feel are important before we get started. But yeah, how are you overall? And let's sort of take it from there. What do you say?
No, I'm good. I'm happy to be here. We tuned in today and we had the fancy little background going on. I was like, ooh, look at this little upgrade. So feeling good, happy to be here and
Yeah,
feeling
and
feeling bad that there's no MMA, but we've got some Fury, we've got some LFA, not really. I'm thinking of the card. Octagon, we've got Octagon coming up. We've got some MMA to fill our void.
yeah, there's some MMA and some combat sports to fill our. But before we get into all that, please be sure to like and subscribe to the Empty the Bench Podcast Network. To do so, go to youtube.com/ETB Network. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Zan Bando. I'm a staff writer for MMA Knockout, and I also host this show. And of course, I'm the host of Bando's Breakdowns, the newest edition of that. And the final episode of the season will drop on Friday. It'll be at a little bit of an earlier start time due to some things that we have going on NFL wise. So stay tuned for that. And for those of you who don't know me at all, I guess I'll just do a brief synopsis. I've been covering the sport in some capacity since 2019, various different outlets. I might as well just go through all of them. I've been at Fansided, I've been at bjpen.com, and then for the last 2.5 years now, I've been one of the lead writers over at MMA Knockout. It's of the On Sports Illustrated division. It's myself and Drew Bupri who run the site. So we've been trying to make it into something that people really really enjoy. It's one of those where we tried to grow it on social first, and now it's more so just been links and written articles and stuff. So you'll see my stuff pop up almost every single day on a monthly basis. So that's sort of my own hub in the MMA space. I've covered tons of events across various different promotions. Finally checked off UFC off the bucket list to cover a live event as a member of the media there. I've been to, I think it's now 14 total live UFC events since '08 or something. So I've been around the space for a bit. Started in the content and podcast space though, beginning in 2022. So that's been really really interesting to kind of just go straight from writing to I guess the live stream community in the podcast space and kind of parlay both of those into one thing. It feels like I'm doing fully two fully separate things rather than just one to diversify myself. But that's a little bit about me, Jack. Do you want to go into an introduction about yourself? I didn't quite know what to call you, so I came up with this.
Hey, sounds good to me because I don't know what to call myself either. I guess, yeah, I create MMA content of all sorts. Like, I think there's the content creator. There's like, oh, he's all this and that. Like, I interview, I do podcasts. I'm host of this show, co-host of MMA Control, film stuff with fighters beating me up. I do fight week vlogs, cover events all over. Just try to do my best in inserting myself into the MMA world.
Yeah, you certainly do that, and I guess because more people know who I am as opposed to you, you kind of want to talk about your journey really quick before we get into some stuff as to how you became who you are now, and kind of the presence you're slowly starting to build in this space. Because I'm sort of a semi veteran. I don't need to go on about me. People will get bored. Or I'd rather have people know more about you than me at this point. So I'll let you have the floor and I'll let you say whatever it is that you want.
I mean, I've been MMA fan. Like, I'm a newer fan. Zan would agree with that. Like, I'm not somebody who watched it growing up. I'm not someone who even knew what it was growing up. But 2020 happened. UFC was the first thing back. I saw UFC 250. I was like, oh, I messed with this. Saw UFC 251, and since then I haven't missed an event, and has fully encapsulated my sports mind. I love it. April of 2024. So I graduated from college, UW Oshkosh, with a radio, TV, film degree. So the plan going to school was to do something in sports. April of 2024, I did my first combat sports interview. Shout out Shane Burgos. We did it in a 7-Eleven on the south side of Chicago. And after that, my first covered events were like September of last year. And from September last year to now, I've covered about 20 different events, been able to interview about 50 different people. It's been made all sorts of different content. It's been a good time.
Yeah, it's been a good time for you for sure, and I'm happy to see what you've been able to elevate yourself as. Mike, as before we get into actual topics now, I just want to talk about overall, like what you hope to accomplish in the space and whatnot.
Yeah, no, like my genuine answer to that is I don't know. Like, I love MMA. It's the same way how people love college football, people love basketball, people love NFL. Where growing up, I'm 5'8". I weigh as much as a heavyweight. I was never going to be an athlete. So, but I always loved sports. So when I found the sport that I loved, I knew I wanted to be a part of it somehow. So I don't care if that's broadcasting. I don't care if that's interviewing. I don't care if that's working as a event coordinator, like setting up the actual cage and event management. And like I think I am open to anything, but we've got some stuff cooking that is another step deeper into the world.
Yeah, another step deeper into the world for sure. So I guess we can sort of get into it. Thank you for the introduction, and for those of you who are migrating over from the playback community, we're happy to have you. So I guess let's get into the final UFC recap of the year. It was UFC Vegas 112 this past weekend from the Apex. Yours truly over here kind of cooked a little bit. He was almost 95% there. He almost went and undefeated. The main event backfired. Royval did not win. Manel Kopp did. He looked very impressive while doing so. You also had a pretty solid night yourself.
9-2-1, only one
Yeah.
behind. Not too bad.
Yeah, it's not as it's not what I was thinking it would be. I figured I would struggle again as I have for quite some time, but nonetheless, overall, before I ask you a very important question, because I don't know if I have this answer from you, because it will help me with some data collection later on after we're done. But nonetheless, though, what did you think of the card overall for the final card of the year? And also just kind of what did you think overall, just the end of the ESPN era and moving forward, and just kind of how everything went and how it was a very tribute heavy show, it seemed like, and just overall your thoughts on just the entire night that it was.
I just want to start this off by UFC. You're telling me you give dog ass ESPN a retirement package and you didn't give Stipe Miocic one? What are we doing here? You're giving one to a broadcasting program who's mid. The app sucks. The pay-per-views are too expensive. The fight nights are too expensive. And you give it 4 different tributes throughout the card, and your greatest heavyweight of all time, you can't even give a tribute, and you knew he was retiring. Moving on from that, I thought it was a good card. I thought it was like pretty even. Like, it was an okay fight night. I think there were some good fights, like Yaroslav Amosov. That was a really nice debut. Kevin Vallejos versus Giga Chikadze. That was really fun. Manel Kopp might be the next title challenger. It's him or Tatsuro Taira. But the biggest performance, the best performance that I saw on the card, Steven Concrete Asplund, my favorite heavyweight in the world right now. That man is unstoppable. His cardio is endless. I've been seeing memes all day. He's Maximus Holloway. He's Maximum Holloway.
Yeah, the story I did on him, I framed it as a weight loss journey, and let's just say Google Discover really liked it. So yeah, obviously he's a prospect to behold. He was even completely dissatisfied just with his overall performance, which I thought he couldn't have looked better than he actually did. But yeah, if he can work on his cardio a little bit, he'll be a beast in 26. Also, just a side note here, shout out to the 24 people that are currently watching. Right now, the two biggest players in this are my personal X account with 11, and of course the EB Network account is the other 13. So shout out to the now 25 people that are watching and here. We appreciate you. The more people that come in, the more content we can bring you guys, and then of course any comments that come in, we'll be sure to answer them as such. But shout out to the 20 plus people that are in here. But yes, I thought Asplin, just to kind of get back to what you were saying, very, very good takeaway from that performance. Beat a guy who he was supposed to beat. That was kind of a goofy, non-technical slugfest. But overall, I thought it was pretty good. And yeah, I mean, I just want to talk about the main event for a second, though. I was underestimating how much better Manel Kopp had gotten from his previous win. But the way he beat Royval and the way he did it so easily to me was nothing short of spectacular. And you want to talk about a call out of all call outs? I think Tatsuro Taira now with the way Kopp finished Royval has some clear competition to where I think if the UFC goes the direction of Kopp versus Van, I wouldn't be disappointed. Or if they go the direction of Taira versus Van, or they make it a number one contender fight between those two, meaning Kopp and Taira, I wouldn't be disappointed either. I think any combination of those is solid, and I think flyweight is in a very interesting place. And of course, when Pantoja comes back, hopefully 100% within the next 6 to 12 months, you would hope. By the way, shout out to 30 people in here now. You guys are awesome. I think 2026, if these guys stay healthy, could be very, very interesting. So
I agree. I think there might be kind of a revolving door at championship waiting for Pantoja because Josh Van is calling to get this title fight done with Cap already. And so I could see Cap beating Van. I could see Taira beating Cap.
Jack, you mean Kopp.
Cop, Cap, whatever it is. Manel. I think Manel Cap beats Josh Van. I think Taira beats Cap. I think Josh Van beats Taira. I think it's a revolving door. And on top of that,
I would say musical chairs and flyweight is pretty good. No,
I agree. Yeah, no, I like it. And I've heard gym stories of Manel where if he is not fighting a grappler, like he is the vibe of Manel is insane. And what I have heard is anytime anybody in that gym at Extreme Couture will pick him in a boxing match because he is that good. So he has had some absolute stinkers, but anytime he's on the front foot and able to style on people, he looks incredible.
Yeah, he looks incredible for sure. And I'm pretty sure, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's the first time Royval has ever been knocked out.
I think so.
Yeah, that was certainly a major surprise. But I'd say really not much more to talk about other than the main event. We're kind of going to go out of order here now that we're sticking with the UFC. Now that we have a little bit more clarity on this Q1 schedule and just kind of everything that's going to go into it from January to March, I guess. Early impressions just of it, some of the locations and some of the fights that are being announced already. It seems like there's more fights in the pipeline that are being teased. And then now you have Alex Pereira coming out and saying that he's not fighting at the White House, which means I think he's going to end up sliding into a card in Q1 of this year. I don't know what card that's going to be. I haven't heard anything behind the scenes as to what's going on with him. But just overall, before I give my opinion, what are your thoughts on the Q1 schedule and just kind of what's come out from it? Some of the locations to me are a little bit weird. It's very West Coast heavy, which I don't fully understand. I don't know what the motive is. Or I thought they'd spread it out. They usually go to like KC at this time of year, like in March or April. They're not doing that. But yeah, enough of me babbling. But what do you think of the Q1 schedule just holistically now that we sort of know every location that's out there.
I mean, honestly, I don't care about locations. I care that it's not at the Apex. And we only have 2 Apex slots so far through March. So I'm pretty happy about that. And on the flip, what we heard on the broadcast yesterday or Saturday, I believe, the last card, Apex general admission tickets will be available starting
Huge,
February 7th.
huge news.
So
And
I don't know.
let's just say this is someone who's gone to an Apex event via, let's just say, very special arrangements. I'm happy for dudes like you that can now finally go to an Apex fight. So,
and I don't know what it's going to cost. That hasn't come out yet. If the regular ticket was about $12.50, I'm anticipating these to be anywhere from $400 to $600, something like that.
that's what I think too. I think it's going to be $400 on the low end. You could probably get them for as cheap as $300, depending on what the main event is. So
interesting. I'm very interested to see what ends up coming out.
That'd be my guess. Yeah, but I think it's good though. I actually wrote about it in a piece that's either up or going up soon on MMA Knockout and Sports Illustrated about this. And I said, this is a huge benefit because now those who like attending 1 to 2 UFC events a year and it's not in their city, it can justify and say, hey, do I have a free weekend to go fly to Vegas? I can go to these Apex fights and because they end so early, I can make a whole weekend out of it and do stuff in Vegas that I would have otherwise not have been able to do instead of worrying about the overwhelming like monkey on the back, if you will, of going to a T-Mobile fight and having half your day be consumed by it. So, or even more than that. But yeah, I think it's huge and it's something that I wish they would have done sooner. They obviously didn't do it sooner, which I don't understand why they didn't do it sooner, but it is what it is. And I think it's going to be one of those things where you're going to watch the first event with, actual fans in attendance. And I think it's going to feel like a, you weren't around when they would go to when they would go to this arena, but it's going to feel like it's a Pearl at the Palms or a Hard Rock Hotel and Casino type of old school UFC fight night. And,
or even like when they went to the Virgin for Marabian 1.
Yeah, which they had to do it because the Apex was undergoing renovations at that point. But yeah, very, very well said. And, I think, and this may sound crazy, but don't be surprised if they do some different things. Maybe you do a Wednesday fight night every so often to switch it up a little bit. And maybe it's not always Saturday premium content. You never know. I'm just speculating at this point, but I think the Apex element to this is going to be very, very interesting. So
I agree, but looking at the schedule a little bit, like starting January 24th, we have UFC 324 headlined by the potentially vacant lightweight title of not Ilia Topuria, Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje. January 31st.
But just so everybody's not confused, at the time that we're recording this,
not vacant, still interim, still the interim title, but some stuff is going on, so we'll see. Nina Drama posted yesterday for the vacant title. Maybe her media team knows something.
Yeah, so, I don't think it's going to be for the vacant title, but that's just me. I don't.
January 31st, we have UFC 325, Volkanovski versus Lopez 2. February 7th, the Apex Fight Night, Lockdog Oliveira versus Mario Bautista main event. That's awesome. Houston, February 21st. Don't know who's main eventing that, but Kevin Holland, Jeff Neal is going to be on that card. That's going to be a fun one. Mexico City, February 28th. Moreno versus
that's not Sean Strickland and Anthony Hernandez.
Oh, that is Strickland Hernandez is the main event of that card. Good pull. February 28th, there's no main event yet, but Brandon Moreno versus Asu Elmabayev is on that card.
That seems like a main event worthy fight, in my opinion.
I agree. March 7th, UFC 326, headlined by Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira. And as of today, potentially there's an RDR Caio Ohio matchup on that card as well.
Oh, okay. And is that being widely reported, or is it just being
widely reported by Brazilian guy Leo G? Can't remember his full name. Violence has posted it.
Leo,
It's out.
I think it's Leo G an artist or something like that.
Yeah, sounds right. March 14th, that's an Apex card. March 21st, London, always my favorite cards. March 28th, they're going back to Seattle. Must have been a good show last year.
Yeah, it must have been a good show last year, and they sold it out. I think at the time it was the highest grossing fight night ever in terms of ticket sales and revenue. So they have every reason to go back. And let me tell you what I think. I think Brendan Allen headlining that card doesn't sound too bad. What do you think?
I wouldn't mind that at all. I'd be interested to see who his opponent would be, though, you know?
I'm just thinking Brendan Allen because of the West Coast flavor. I think he's a Seattle guy himself, if I'm not mistaken.
He's a Louisiana and Chicago guy, brother. Come on.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Who? There is another middleweight. Now I can't think of it.
Seattle guys, we got like Chase Hooper, we got the retired DJ, we've got Marco Ellison who just got knocked out. Or
yeah,
Elijah Ellison or Henry Ellison, whatever his name is.
right. Okay. I was getting my cities confused. I completely get it though. But yeah, I mean, it's clear though that they're staying busy, which is really good, and it's clear that they're kind of you know recognizing how busy the Paramount CBS schedule is, because you think about how much is in March. You have the Big Ten tournament that's always on there. You have March Madness, which begins, and somehow, some way, they're fitting all this in. I have to give them a lot of credit. But speaking of CBS, what kind of bummed me out is when it seems like CBS is not going to be used, meaning the linear CBS is not going to be used in the way I thought it was going to be initially used, and that kind of bummed me out. I can explain further what I mean when I say that, but I was very surprised about that in particular before we move on to a few more topics to close this out.
I know there will be a card or two or three that they
wait.
I'm
saying, do you know what I'm referring to when I say
think
that, or
so, right? You can break it down though. Keep going.
Sure. So basically, in Dana White's latest interview with the Mac Life's Oscar Willis, he revealed that not only will the White House card not be on CBS, which to me is crazy, but whatever. That's number one. Number two, he said that mainly the prelims for the numbered shows are mainly going to be on CBS, and it will incentivize people to go to Paramount Plus to stream the main card of those numbered shows. So,
which makes a lot of sense to me. Like, I thought that was going to happen. I thought they would be I think they're going to do more shows than I thought on CBS.
Really? Okay.
Like, I think because if they're going to do the numbered prelims on CBS, like let's say 5 to 7 or 4 to 6 or whatever it is, it's going to flow people in. It's the same thing as like, hey, we're airing these ESPN prelims on ESPN, and then the pay-per-view is a pay-per-view.
Yeah, but thankfully, though, it seems like a lot of people are flocking over to Paramount Plus. I think overnight, like 200,000 people subscribed to Paramount Plus after canceling ESPN. So you want to talk about the loyalty to one promotion. I don't know how else to quantify it other than that. Let's talk about something really disappointing regarding one of the UFC's biggest stars. Ilia Topuria put out a statement Monday basically saying that there's a lot of personal stuff going on between he and his ex-wife. There's allegations of, a lot of things that he's supposedly done, which he's denying. I'd rather not get into the specifics of those because it's a little bit graphic, but nonetheless, I guess from the way he's handling it, because this space as well as I do you think he's handling this the best way he possibly can? Is there any other way he should be going about this? Because I'm just going to go off and say this. I don't think, given how big of a star he is and how much he's built his reputation up as, a 28, soon to be 29-year-old sports star, not just a combat sports star. I think he's widely globally known. I think we could say that with confidence and nobody would deny it. I just don't think, given what he's being accused of, that I'm really hoping he didn't actually do what is being alleged. So
now this is all alleged from what he posted, and I'm not going to say any of the details, but
Right, exactly.
in the message, what he did say, like he was like, I am unequivocally innocent and I have evidence to prove so with texts, emails, audio recordings. So I am very interested to see where this goes. Now,
I'm interested too, because for his sake, personally, like as someone who genuinely likes watching him fight, I don't want to see him be in trouble. You know what I mean?
no, I agree. And I don't like seeing anybody in that situation because, like, if it's not true, then it's messed up that she was accusing him of that. And
Right,
if it is true, it's even worse that he did it. You know what I mean?
right, which would be the worst of the circumstances.
Yeah. So it's just like there's no good side to take here. But someone who did pick a side and he went full blast on Ilia Topuria was Bryce Mitchell.
He
That
sure
was
did.
crazy.
He sure did. I am just going to say this briefly about that before we move on to our final topic. I think he was trying to make it about himself. What do you think?
I think he was trying to get that fight with Alessandro. It is what it is.
I mean, at this point now, I mean, I think it's gotten enough viral buzz that the UFC might actually do it.
Yeah, he might have done exactly what he wanted.
So I don't know. My early pick would be Ilia's brother in that fight if they were to fight, but I think the build up to that would be funnier than the actual fight itself. Because there'd be some rough stuff on both sides. So
I'm not gonna say I'm a Bryce Mitchell sympathizer.
I'm not, but
he
knows how to sell, though. I'll give you that.
He reminds me of all of my grandpa's neighbors in northern rural Wisconsin. So
really, okay,
it's just like crazy guy for sure, but he's probably a good neighbor and he's got your back. he's just an interesting fella. But seeing him lose to Gene Silva, that was a fun one.
Yeah, seeing him lose to Gene Silva was definitely one of the most entertaining moments in recent I guess in recent UFC history. So that was exciting, but nonetheless, still, let's move on to, I guess, another circus here. We have Judgment Day on Netflix. Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. Not much more to say on this fight, really, other than the fact that I don't think this fight should be happening. I think this fight is stupid. Will I watch it? I have to for work-related purposes because I'll be on a deadline to file the main event story, which won't impact me watching it with you. But that just adds to another layer that I'm kind of going along with the circus. But hey, I'm getting paid to do it, so I don't really care. But in regards to the pick, I think if this fight goes past round one, I think people have a lot of reason to be very suspicious. What do you think?
Give me Jake Paul by knockout.
Are you
joke?
Are you joking or are you serious?
Dead serious. Listen.
What makes you think, given the height and weight discrepancy, that he can knock out a former heavyweight champion?
Listen. All respect to Anthony Joshua, and this is all opinion. We're in America, land of the free.
Hey, I'm not saying you can't have your opinion.
No.
Your opinion's a little bit out there, my guy. I'm just saying
Anthony Joshua, weak sauce, was gonna retire, doesn't want to fight any of these top dudes because he keeps getting knocked the fuck out. He's getting a $50 million bag to main event this card. You're telling me what's more likely that this fight is going to be a legit sanctioned match of a 250-pound, 6'6", all-time talent heavyweight boxer versus former Disney star 6'1", 220-pound Jake Paul. Now, all logic says Anthony Joshua knockout, but I am simply choosing to believe the circus. Like you said, I am in it. Every time you pick against Jake Paul, that motherfucker wins, and he shouldn't. Now, this is the realest opponent he's had. I was picking him he was going to beat Tank Davis. I promise you that. I had that pick the second that was going to happen.
I thought he was going to beat him too because Tank Davis's focus was on anything but boxing, and he had his own legal stuff going on.
And he's 5'4". Look how good Logan Paul did against Floyd Mayweather. Gervonta Davis throws one punch around.
Right.
Like,
Right.
so when it comes to Joshua, listen, he should knock him out. If he doesn't knock him out and run, call it rigged. Brother, it's gonna be. I'm calling it on the head. All alleged. All alleged. It's not rigged. This is a real sanctioned boxing match. That's happening. Don't get me wrong.
No, it is. It is.
I know
for
it's
sure a
real.
legal sanctioned fight.
But I'm saying Jake Paul, he's sold his soul to the devil. I don't know what that brother has done, but he's gonna knock out Anthony Joshua. Round two.
I think it could happen. If you're right, I'll give you credit and shout out to the now 40 and 39 and trickling a number of people in here. But I mean, geez, I don't know. All I know is if you're a X content creator, if you want to blow up and go viral on Twitter, I think Friday night is the night to do it, especially if you've never gone viral before. I think there are a lot of people who have a lot of chances to go viral with literally one tweet. So,
yeah, I think it's gonna be really interesting, man.
I think if you help me come up with a few heaters, I might get some traffic. So.
Yeah, I don't know. This card is going to be so interesting. And I want to point out too, there's some legit fights on this card. Hold on.
We've also got Anderson Silva versus Tyron Woodley. Pull up the card. Pull up the card.
That's what I'm doing right now. Okay, that fight's not real, but we got Alicia Baumgardner versus Layla Budon. Good
you want to share? You want to share your screen?
Oh, I don't even know. I don't know.
Present an invite at the bottom of the screen.
Boom. Share screen.
There you go, man.
Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua. Boom. So to start off the card, we got, or the headline, Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua. You've got Alicia Baumgardner versus Layla Budon. We've got Anderson Silva versus Tyron Woodley. We've got Jamal Harvey versus Kevin Cervantes. We've got, so Jake Paul's big on the women's fights, and I can get down with that. We've got Alicia Baumgardner, awesome. We've got Trinica Johnson. She's pretty fun, too. We've got the Caroline Dubois MVP debut. That one's big. But yeah, like, it'll be good. I don't know how many people are going to be watching this. I think they'll start tuning in about right here.
Yeah.
And but it should be good. It should be good.
Yeah, it should be decent. I'm excited for the Anderson Silva Tyron Woodley fight because I think as old as those guys are, they're gonna come out swinging. I think that'll be a good one. I'm excited. I'm excited about that one.
No, I agree, and I think a really fun thing that could happen here is like maybe because if Dubois wins the lightweight title, like defends it, Baumgardner wins, she might move up. They might fight in the next co-main event. Like they kind of build these women's fights on these cards, and let me tell you, every women's fight that MVP's put on has been a banger.
Yeah, that's true. And just, I know this is unrelated, but the level of broadcast talent they have for just one card, it's like 25 different people. Like, this is going to be a very, very, very unique broadcast. I'm excited to see how it actually looks.
I know they got I'm pulling up a picture of that right now because I saw familiar face of BKFC. Sean Wheelock was one of the people on the promotion. Now, if I can only find this, because MVP's Instagram didn't want to come up. Give me one moment.
No problem. By the way, shout out to the 41 people in here. We appreciate you all. Now 42 people in here. 18 of those are from my personal Twitter. Shout out to you. And if you aren't following me, please be sure to do so.
All right. Now look at all that on-air talent.
You're a goof if you don't turn on my post notifications moving forward. I'm just saying. So
if is it not coming up right now? Let me do this again. Boom, 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 boom. How we looking?
There we go.
There we go. So we've got Mauro Ranallo on the card. We've got Lennox Lewis, Sean Wheelock. I don't know who Corey Ederman is, but you probably do.
I do, yes.
We've got David Hay, Christina Poncher, Sibley Scholes, Big Mo, Ariel.
The only one we're missing is Kate Abdu. I'm surprised Kate Abdu isn't. bet in this because Cade Abdu's on every major boxing match, regardless of where it is. I'm very surprised.
Interesting, but they got everybody. Like I'm sure it'll be like on one desk, maybe it'll be
On one desk, I think it'll be the bottom, and then on a separate desk, it's going to be everybody that isn't Ronaldo, Erdman, and Lewis. I think.
I agree because Big Mo's the announcer,
Yeah,
Ariel's the interviewer.
yeah. In which, by the way, I'm just curious. Do you think that Ariel Helwani working for MVP while still covering it for like all of the stuff he does for Uncrowned? I'm just curious, your opinion. Do you think it's a conflict of interest, or do you think it's just him having two opportunities and juggling with it? Because a lot of people on social media are speculating that it's like a whole journalism integrity thing, and I'm just curious as to what you think of it.
I don't give a shit, man. Like listen, I can understand because it is a conflict of interest, but also just as wanting to do something, it's a cool thing to do. Like if you like, I think it's nowhere near like Ali Abdulaziz running dominance and being the matchmaker of PFL. Like can't do that.
No.
But like with this,
it's not like Ariel is influencing any
yeah,
of the
he's just
outcomes or anything like that.
He's just interviewing whoever wins. So I think like it's really not that big of a deal.
I don't think so either. I can agree with you on this, but tons of very, let's just say this, straight and narrow, not bad guys, but straight and narrow people from a different era that isn't our, I guess, content creator era, if you will. Don't think it's a good idea. I don't have an issue with it either. I was just curious. Yeah, I always say, hey man, if you want to do if you want to do your thing, that's cool. So
hey, it's how I felt when shout out to Tough Enough. I loved the experience. They put me up in a hotel to cover the card. It's like they didn't pay me anything. They set me up there to cover it. I covered it exactly how I would any other way. People were telling me it's like, oh, they shouldn't pay for your stuff. Listen, if I'm getting a free trip out of it and I'm going to still do the exact same thing I'm going to do unbiased the whole time, I'm taking the opportunity.
Fair. I think a lot of I don't feel easy about it, but hey man, as I just alluded to a second ago, it's a different world. People are gonna do what they're gonna do. I mean, I don't really have too much of an issue with it. I don't really give these things that kind of thought, but everybody likes to stir stuff. I don't know. But yeah, overall though, this is a solid team. Maybe too many people overall. I'm surprised how many people are actually covering this for how few fights there are. But damn, you want to talk about different perspectives, people in the sport and people out of the sport. The only person I don't know, and this is Sibley Skoleless, and I'm sure you probably don't either. I've never heard of her. I know she's like an interviewer of some sort for multiple different sports, but I've never seen her on TV. So that'll be interesting to see how she does. And Big Mo's done stuff for a bit, obviously. And then Andre Ward is an OG of not just boxing, but of the analytical space. He's done it for a long time. The only person they're missing on this is Max Kellerman, but I think Max Kellerman is going to start focusing on Zuffa boxing. So it kind of makes sense that he's not on this. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting crew for sure.
Kellerman drives me crazy, so I'm happy.
Really, I actually like him when it comes to professional fighting, but that's just me.
Just matter of opinion and what you like. Like I respect him a lot. Don't get me wrong. Like I think he's good at what he does, but not my cup of tea. You know.
So I'm just curious. What do you think Netflix is legitimately gaining out of this? Because I think for the layperson that just subscribes to Netflix, more people know who Jake Paul is than Anthony Joshua is. The hardcores know who Joshua is. So I guess, why do you think Netflix was interested in this as opposed to like DAZN or PPV.com or any of the other major players in this?
Because I think Netflix, they have the American audience. They've got it. They got them all from the Jake Tyson thing. Now they're going for the British audience because maybe Joshua's not a casual thing here. Joshua is a mega star in England. Mega. So it's just like when you Netflix is worldwide, so I think they're aiming for 120 million different people, different audience.
Yeah, for sure. So overall, though, am I excited for it? I'm not sure if I'm excited for it, but will I watch it? Yeah, absolutely.
I'm pumped. I'm excited. I like a clown show.
as Dana White likes to say, there's a market for that. But that's not what he does, and I hope his words come true. Because he goes, it looks like people will get what they paid for. So we'll see if we'll see if he ends up being right. With a couple minutes to go, you want to preview the final episode of the year and just kind of talk about when potentially we will do the award show. We keep saying we're going to tease a date. It's probably going to be sometime next week. But do you want to quickly go over what we're going to do on Thursday? And then I assume most of Thursday is just going to be the future of what this show may look like. But do you want to tease anything for Thursday next week and then beyond of what the show is going to look like? And if you want to tease like around the bush, if you will, I don't know how much you can say, but if you want to tease your life update a little bit, you can. And then I will finish with the final word and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah, no. So next week is kind of a slower episode. We'll be talking more in depth about this card. Maybe we'll be talking about the awards show. Maybe that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week.
Well, first though, we have this. Our next episode is going to be the day before Paul versus Joshua. You can tune in 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. It'll be the same time. I'm pretty sure, unless there's potentially a scheduling conflict, which I don't think there's going to be. That's going to be episode 151. And yeah, I would agree with you that next week is going to be a little bit slower, but I think it'll be interesting. I mean, I guess just with you having come into the fold in the last few months, like where would you like to see the show go in 2026, and how would you like to see it grow?
Hey, I think the show's going good. I mean, even from the last couple of episodes to now, the viewers are going up. I love you, everybody. But I mean, maybe we'll get some interviews on here. We've got, hey, tomorrow night we're interviewing Torres Finney. I can say that confidently. I'm excited for that. And yeah, we'll get some people on here.
Yeah, it should be fun, and hopefully we can make some of those happen. I've had some pretty big interviews myself over the last couple weeks. For those of you who missed it, I got to talk to Bo Bassett. That
Dustin
came out.
Poirier, Bruce Buffer. Hey, no big deal. Michael Chandler.
Yeah. There's been a couple. There's been a couple, and speaking of interviews, I saw a tweet from Jedi Goodman earlier today, and it was like 10 or 15 different podcasts that interviewed Dana White. And I guess I'm manifesting a goal that in 2026, either this one or Bando's breakdowns gets an opportunity to do that. So hopefully by the time the 2026 list comes out, there's going to be a familiar name on there. And speaking of that, if you ever had a chance to interview him, what would you say if you had one question, gun to your head, you could only ask Dana White one question, and that would be the entire interview? What would you ask him?
If I lose 100 pounds, will you give me a job?
Really? Okay.
That would be the one. He seems to like that shit, so that's what I would do.
Okay, so you're gonna do what NASCAR MMA did. You're gonna try to do the same thing. Okay. Very interesting.
Hey, who knows? For a guy like me, it's capable. I need to get these LBs off.
Yeah, my question would probably be something like, you guys don't really have a disability presence. I guess like I would basically pitch him on how I feel I could be an asset to his team, because to be quite honest with you, it seems like, and I may be being arrogant, I don't think they have too many historian type roles, and if they did, I think I would fit it. So
I think you would as well. Maybe I'd ask him to go gamble with him or go do something like that.
That'd be kind of fun. I'd ask him probably to either watch him gamble or go to Carbone with him or do something like that. I've always wanted to watch a fight next to him. I've never had a chance to do it before. I've been close to doing it before. You know, I've sat behind him and I've seen his head and shit like that, but I've never actually sat next to him to see a fight. That's something I would one day before I stop watching.
One of these days, you're gonna.
Yeah, one day before I stop watching this crazy sport, I think I'll somehow finagle my way to make it happen. We've been babbling and now for about 45 minutes. That's going to do it for another edition of the MMA Outsiders. He's Jack Gold. I'm Zain Bando. Jack, I'll let you have the final word before we get out of here. Anything else you'd like to say to our wonderful viewers out here as we approach 50 people in the last 30 seconds to a minute, and anything else you want to plug, I'll let you have the final word.
Yeah, no, nothing to plug, but Q1 of 2026, Jack Gold is going to be on the move. I'm not too sure if I'm going to say where yet or what I'm doing, but maybe March or April, you're going to see me not in this place anymore, and I'll be going away from you, Zan. We'll no longer be town buddies.
No, which means I'll be one of the few Chicago people that covers this sport again, which will be kind of disappointing.
Hey, Chicago 4L, dude.
No, for sure. Well, I guess speaking of it, do you want to tease potentially what you and I are going to be doing on January 24th?
January 24th, we have in Chicago, thanks to big shout out to Fight Night Chicago for setting this up. Fight Night Chicago, MMA Control, the MMA Outsiders, Kool-Aid, Rom at the Fights, Vinny Talks, all of the Chicago content creators and MMA people are hosting a watch party for UFC 324 at the Standard. Now, the Standard, they're pulling all the strings because as of now, we've got a couple legends of the sport coming to make an appearance. We have active UFC fighters coming to make an appearance. It'll be a really good time. But yeah, as we get closer, watch out. We'll be posting flyers. We'll be posting everything about it. But if you're in town, January 24th, come. Don't miss out.
January 24th, first Paramount card of the year. It should be fun. And if this, I guess, Radio Row style thing that we're going to do goes well, we might do more of these in the future, but excited to be invited. I'm excited to go with you. And it should be one of the more unique ways of watching an event because actually from where my desk is right now, the current desk I'm sitting at, my TV is literally above me. So all I have to do is when I'm not hosting a show, I just put the microphone out of the way and the TV's right there, and I just watch TV and I guess unison and luxury. So it'll be a little bit of a different experience, but I'm excited about it. I think we've been talking about, oh, for sure. I think though we've been talking long enough. Thank you again for tuning in, everyone. I really appreciate it. Shout out to everyone on Twitter, Kick, Twitch, YouTube, everywhere that we're at. Thank you so much for adapting to this new strategy that we're trying. Just given some structural changes that have gone on with our partnerships with some previous companies that you guys already know about if you've been paying attention. But we're going to see if we can get some more partnerships in 2026 to go onward and upward and build those watch hours. And the more you guys subscribe and the more you guys watch and the more you guys listen on the RSS feeds, it tells me, Jack, and everybody else of the network that you want more content like this. So stay tuned. Keep it locked in. Have a good rest of your day and have a good day off tomorrow. We will see you guys on Thursday for the newest edition of the MMA Outsiders, the last, I guess, official episode of 2025 before moving into the 2026 calendar. And until then, we'll see you guys soon. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Stream.